Good morning. Welcome to Our Town at Comma Coffee. I'm Kurt Caraway. This morning we're talking with Attorney General Cortez Masto about some of the issues going on in the legislature right now. Right now we're going to take a short break after a word from our sponsor.
Do you feel like you have to take out a loan to pay your water bill?
Is that drip, drip, drip driving you nuts, nuts, nuts?
Leaky pipes can cost you a fortune, not to mention the wasted water. Even small leaks can waste hundreds of gallons.
To check a leaky toilet, here's what you do.
Add several drops of dark food coloring to the toilet water tank.
If the water in the bowl is tinted after 15 minutes, your toilet is leaking. If it is, all it may need is a new toilet flapper, which is easy and cheap to fix.
If you don't want to do it yourself, you may want to call a licensed plumber.
Outside your house, check your hose bibs. They can waste thousands of gallons of water over the summer. In the long run, the water you save will pay for itself, and you will be doing your part to use water wisely.
Every drop counts. Be water smart.
And we're back talking with Attorney General Masto. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning. Thanks for bringing me on your show.
Thank you. And anyway, you know, the legislature's going on, and there's lots of things going on in your office in terms of what you have going on over there. So
there are. You know, it's a great opportunity, particularly for us on the law enforcement side, to work with the legislature to address some issues that we've seen occurring in our state, like the mortgage fraud issue, domestic violence, you know, substance abuse, whether it's prescription drug abuse or methamphetamine abuse or these new bath salts that people are hearing about. So we have a number of bills out there working on those issues.
Yeah. So well, one of the bills you just mentioned was the foreclosure, the mortgage mess, which most everybody in Nevada knows a little bit about. And there was a law just signed in.
Yes, actually, it's fantastic. We've been working with the Assembly, and particularly Marcus Conklin, who sponsored a bill for us to address some of the foreclosure problems that we're seeing in this state and tighten the laws and strengthen the laws to give us more teeth. You know, my office, I have a mortgage fraud strike force. We have been inundated with cases that it's amazing to me, all the people, all the scammers that come out and prey on people that are trying to save their homes. So along with that, though, we have seen concerns where some of the documents that are being used to foreclose on people's homes are not necessarily legitimate. And so that is one of the areas in the law that we wanted to strengthen and tighten up, so that when a bank or somebody or a servicer goes to foreclose on somebody's homes, they actually have to have
the
some
actual
proof
documents,
of the documents or the actual documents, yes. And so we've done a number of things to strengthen the law. And that's based on what we have seen as we go out and prosecute these cases. I will tell you, every time we have changed the law and working with the legislature in 2007 and 2009, we've constantly changed the law to try to stay a step ahead of these criminals, but they figure out a way to work around it. And so we always have to be vigilant in addressing these issues. And so this is just one more step in where we've worked with the legislature to do just that.
So yeah, you're always having to make adjustments to whatever your laws are to keep
Sure, you know,
ahead.
because that's unfortunately, if there's once you put a hole in that loophole, or excuse me, close that loophole, there's somebody else going to come and try to figure out another way around it to make money off of
They're an inventive bunch, aren't
some
they?
poor individuals. Yeah, they are. And there's tons of money to be made out there, unfortunately.
So, and I know that one of the things we talked about, the open records, you're doing, or open meetings, sorry, not open records, open meetings law changes to try to close some of the loopholes there, right?
Well, you know, it's not closing loopholes. You know, open meeting law is important for everyone. It brings transparency to what's happening in government or these bodies that makes decisions. It holds them accountable, and it gives the people the opportunity to see what's going on in their local government or state government. My office enforces those open meeting laws. So over the course of the last 4 years, I have seen where we may need to strengthen those laws. And so last year I put together a task force to come up with ideas on how we can strengthen it, and those ideas were then put in a bill that I sponsored and sent to the legislature, and it's working its way through the legislative process.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break right now and come back after a word from our sponsor.
Sometimes a simple thing like walking downstairs can become a life-threatening experience.
Help me! I've fallen!
I'm Janice Ayers, and we have a solution for less than $1 a day. It's called Lifeline, where you push a button and automatically through your phone system, you summon emergency medical help, life-saving help. For Lifeline information, call RSVP today.
And we're back and talking with the Attorney General. There's also another bill you have going through for the Substance Abuse Commission.
Correct. This is a continuation of the methamphetamine working group that we had created back in 2007. Because that was created by executive order of the governor, I wanted to codify it and make it permanent, at least while the time that I've been in office. So for the next 4 years, we're going to have a Substance Abuse Commission. If this bill passes out of the legislature and is signed by the governor, it will continue to address the methamphetamine problem, but we're also going to look at and try to figure out what's happening and why we have a prescription drug abuse problem in our state. We're going to look at these new synthetic drugs that are out there that are being sold over the counter as herbs, and these are the cannabinoids, synthetic cannabinoids. We're also going to be looking at these bath salts that are being sold that are laced with a drug that people are using as well. And so again, these are issues that are important for our state that this committee, and it's made up of law enforcement, treatment providers, people in local communities, to really focus on what's occurring, how we can address it through legislation, law enforcement, treatment, and the most important, for my purposes, is that education. Educating the folks on what's going on.
I know just from looking at our police reports and looking at the amount of people who are getting arrested for prescription drugs is just skyrocketing. That's probably
scary.
More than anything else.
It really is scary because a number of our kids particularly are getting involved with prescription drug abuse. I hear about these rave parties where the kids will get whatever drugs they can out of medicine cabinets or whatever, not knowing what they do, and they take them to these parties, dump them in a punch bowl, and then just grab some and take them and have no idea what's going to happen to them. And so unfortunately we see kids appear in our emergency rooms. Some have OD'd, some need quick medical care for the physical condition that it has caused to them. So it is a problem, and we need to understand why the kids are doing this and educate them as to why they shouldn't be using prescription drugs. But the most important thing I want to focus on also is people that have unused prescription drugs, don't just put them in your medicine cabinet. We are looking at now to develop a program statewide where they can take these unused drugs that they're no longer using, these prescription drugs, and take them safely to a law enforcement community member, and they will dispose of them in a safe manner. We don't want to flush those down our toilets. We want to make it a safe, green environment, so we don't want that in our water supply. But we also want to make sure we get those out of the shelves. They're no longer available for our kids or for anybody else who wants to abuse those drugs.
Yeah, that's sad. Another issue I know that you're working on is a domestic violence bill.
I am. Unfortunately, I'm here talking about all these bad things that are occurring, but we need to educate folks as to why it's happening. In our state, we lead the nation in the number of women who are murdered per capita as a result of domestic violence. And so I work with domestic violence community. We're alarmed with these numbers and all of these deaths that are occurring. So we got together. We were able to get some federal money to develop and put together this fatality review team. It's a bill right now that I have in the legislature that's working its way through, and I'm hoping it will be signed by the governor. This will give us the ability to take a look at those cases where women, it's mostly women who are the victims of domestic violence, but where these women were murdered as a result of this domestic violence. Understand what happened in the course of their lives and where we could have intervened to help them and stop that from occurring. So that's really the intent for the fatality review team.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for coming on and telling us about this, because these are very important issues that people really want to know about.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, and thank you for tuning in to OurTown at Common Coffee. We will catch you next time.
When disaster strikes, will you be ready? Make a family disaster plan. Know what to do and where to go if you have to evacuate. Consider special needs of disabled family and pets. Assemble a disaster supplies kit. Pack food, water, medicines, and first aid items to last a week. Include a portable radio with extra batteries to receive instructions and stay informed. Remember, make a plan, assemble a kit, stay informed, be ready.